Hello, Thunder Smith here, welcome to the Gaming Nexus. Today, it's Dyson Sphere Program. Let's watch the intro.
Created in exploration. The seed evolves in iteration. From zero, transforming into infinity and beyond. It spreads and becomes the shadow of the galaxy. As dark fog rises, the stars dim. You will embark on a new journey.
Arrive at target cluster.
Welcome to the real universe. Very soon, you'll find this place different from our homeland. But you should be able to adapt to the laws of physics here in no time. I'm your advisor. I will assist you in completing this mission. Everything here belongs to you. As a member of the Cosmo, a pioneer of the Dyson Sphere Program, you will explore this cluster from ground zero. Make use of the resources available here to build a Dyson Sphere that supplies energy to the center brain to maintain homeland simulation. I've chosen a planet for the mission, and there are essential resources for the initial development. Now, please pilot the space capsule toward this planet.
So, first thing I can say about the game, it has very amazing intro. I was totally surprised watching the intro myself, so that's why I wanted to show you the intro, because it's amazing, I think. So, let's get starting. So, I need to reach the planet, and let's listen to the AI.
Signals detected. Extracting feature variables. Comparing with database. Those are highly likely anomalous mechanical bodies from the Mechanic Energy Program. Engineers call them dark fog. Dark fog is extremely sensitive to EM signals under a regular pattern, so they may launch an assault on us. To stay low profile, we will land on the other side of this planet.
Space capsule will land on the target planet in 3, 2, 1. Landed.
This is Icarus, a very powerful but lightweight industrial mecha. Use the direction keys or click the right mouse button on the ground to move the mecha. In this mission, you'll control your mecha to navigate the universe and create miracles.
Yeah, so let's don't listen any longer to the AI, because those will be just some additional info about the game, about how to use the interface and other controls. We don't need that. Well, if you're playing the game yourself, then you need that, but right now you're watching my videos, so that's not necessary. So yeah, first thing first, I collected my drop pod and I am collecting some wood and some leaves, just because your mecha is powered by its core, and its core can consume many different kind of resources that are burnable, just to convert them into energy. Later on, you will be able to produce more like item efficient fuels. So right now I'm just using wood and leaves. They are not very efficient, they are not giving me a lot of energy, and I'm using them pretty fast. That's why I need some trees and bushes at the beginning. But later on, even early on, I should be able to switch to coal. That will be more efficient fuel. And if you like play the game for a very long time and approach further research, then you will have ability to produce
Construction menu is locked.
like hydrocarbon cells or something.
Click on the technology
Yeah.
tree button at the bottom
And
right corner of the screen.
those cells
To open
will
the
be
technology
very
tree
fuel
button and start a
efficient,
research.
and later on I think there's some even antimatter like fuel cells that like last for ages and generate a lot of energy. So yeah, why do you need so much energy? Because your mecha is using it all the time when doing basically anything. Of course, if you're standing and not producing, then the mecha is using less energy than when, for example, running around, building buildings and manufacturing items at the same time. So that's definitely useful. Also, later on, well, pretty early on, but not on this like moment, you can build yourself like charging poles that will allow you to actually charge your mecha from your power grid, so you don't be using fuel for the mecha. That can be useful when, especially when you land on new planet and you have depleted your energy storage and you don't have any valid fuel, then charging from the energy grid can be very helpful. Okay, so we discovered 5 first automation,
It
and
automatically collects
this
ore
is for mining
You can
resources.
select it in the
So
inventory or in the
first
construction
I'll gather some
Select
ore by myself
Start building.
because I want to have it in my inventory. Also because I forgot that each technology you discover rewards you with some buildings. So once I discovered mining operations, I got 1 miner. So I'm pressing shift right now to unlock the building from the grid and to be able to cover all the iron nodes with single building. You don't always want to do this like that. I liked my ore nodes to be covered by miners,
You have an
just for
unpowered
them
production facility.
to being
make it run
depleted
normally, place it within the power
more or
grid.
less at the same
Make
time,
sure power is supplied.
because I don't like when there's like single node of resources
Bottom right corner of the
lagging behind, and then you're left with like miner that still has like 1,000 or 2,000 ore, but is mining like 5 units
transmit power
per
wirelessly
second
over
or
a
something,
range
or
and extend
5
the
units
power
per
grid
minute.
coverage. Click on it to view more
And
details.
it's annoying because it's not very
The
useful.
wind turbine. You've now built your
Also,
first
just a mention,
power
don't
facility. Don't have a power supply.
don't consider my builds in this playthrough as something to be worth copying, as I was building without any planning and any scalability in mind. So as in most factory games, you want your production grid to be easily scalable and to create some kind of mall early on, just to produce your base buildings, so wind turbines, so conveyor belts, power poles, and so on and so on. But unluckily,
Research complete.
I was so taken by the refreshing intro and the whole process of refreshing the game, because I was playing it when it was looking different before the enemy update, and yeah, the enemies change a bit the game flow. So I'm a little bit like rusty with the game, and I was not planning properly during my early phase of development, and what we will build today is absolutely not scalable, and yeah, don't repeat that. Think ahead and build yourself some scalable design, even if it requires from you
Replication complete.
discovering some technologies that are not easily available straight on, even if you have to craft some data cubes by yourself. So definitely take that into account. Or just set up a basic lab early on and use the sorters as
You've obtained sorting and conveyor
as a splitter
belts.
mechanism.
Automation is now possible.
That's valid. That's valid. You can do that. You can use
The sorter will
the
transport
sorters
ores
to
from the
actually
conveyor
work
belt
as
into the arch
splitters.
smelter that will smelt them
Well,
automatically.
they can be tricky,
When building a conveyor
but
belt,
hopefully they won't cause you too much trouble.
use up arrow to raise the conveyor belt
Yeah.
level.
So I'm placing my first conveyor belt, and I'll be building
Press keypad 0 to
some
reset
furnaces
the
to
conveyor belt.
convert iron
To
ore
avoid the conveyor
into
belt
iron
snapping
plates.
into a building, try holding
Something I forgot about while playing,
An arch
and
smelter, which automatically
something
produces
you need
basic
to
materials
take into account
such as iron
is that
ingots and copper ingots.
in opposition to
However,
most
automatically feed in raw materials and
factory
finished
games,
products.
this game includes secondary resources that can be produced directly from iron ore, and those are magnets. So
Once a
you
recipe is assigned,
can both smelt iron ore into iron plates and into magnets, and you need both to actually progress through the game. So yeah, take that into account, because I forgot about that, and later on I was forced to add another smelting row of furnaces just to handle the magnets, so I can create my blue science, so blue data cube, because it's not Factorio. We don't have like flasks with science. Here we have data cubes that are uploaded to the center brain that is simulating our home world, and this helps somehow. How? I don't know. I'm not much into the lore of the game, but it helps somehow. So that's that.
Insufficient materials.
So yeah, we have problems with amount of energy and lack of power poles. So definitely I'll need to expand my power grid, and that's what I'm crafting another wind turbines. As you can see, they can't be too close to one another. I like to place them on the big grid, as you can see.
Insufficient materials.
That's why I am choosing the cross of the lines to place my turbines. This way I can easily always place them correctly, no matter where on the planet am I.
Replication complete.
4 wind turbines actually help me power my base right now, and we have supply of iron plates. In the beginning you have few technologies just like these two, where you can like research them by producing and using some kind of resources from your inventory, because your mech is also equipped with like this data processing matrix, and it can help with the research. Unluckily, it's not very fast, so building laboratories or matrix labs
Replication
is
complete.
necessary anyway. But until then, until we have the electromagnetic cubes, so blue cubes, I'll actually be making my research by creating stuff in my inventory using Fabricator. That's screen on the right. And then using these to actually research the stuff. So you can see right now the research is being completed by eating things from my inventory, so gears and electronic circuits, and it will be ready in just a few more seconds, and then we can progress further. Of course, I planned ahead and queued another research. I don't know what it will require, so magnets and electronic circuits. And of course, I thought that I need more copper to actually craft my magnets, but that's not what was the problem. I'm collecting the stone just to build the copper processing center, so the miner, the furnaces. But the real problem is that I don't have enough iron ore, which doesn't allow me to craft enough magnets to actually complete my research. And that's where producing magnets early on comes in. So the game is trying to tell me that I need magnets, but I missed that fact. So bear with me. I'm not stupid. I promise I'm not stupid. I just got a little rusty and forgot about those mechanics, especially that in my last free time I was playing a lot of Factorio, and like I was so confused with the controls, like I tried to use Q button to drop stuff from my cursor. It's not how you do this here, it's how you do this in the Factorio. I tried to pick up the building using Q. It's not how it's done here, it's how it's done in Factorio. So yeah, I was like, okay, it's a Factor game and I'm trying to use Factorio K-bindings to use stuff, to do stuff that's possible in Factorio, but that's not actually in Dyson Sphere Program. So funny story about my mishap with controls in this game.
Wrong connection type. Use a sorter.
So yeah, the AI is angry that I tried to move my conveyor belt through the furnace instead of using sorter. Actually, I was not. I was trying to plan longer conveyor belt, but the game doesn't know that. So let's be a little bit lenient here and not be angry against the game. And again, I put resources in the belt before setting recipe. And again, you can copy recipe from one building to another in both Factorio and Dyson Sphere Program. But in Factorio, you're doing that by pressing Shift and left right clicking. So left is pick up, right is paste in, I guess, or another way around. But here it's higher, lower. So you use lower to copy from the building and higher to actually paste into the building. And as you can see, I have problems with power again. So I'll need to expand my power grid once more. And also I'm starting to worry about the magnets because they needed for further expansion. So I'll definitely be building Magnets factory as it's required for, yeah, I'm building the foundries or smelters, arc furnaces actually, to create magnets. So I copied the building and I copied it with the sorter, but it's not how I want it. So here on the right side I can see how to remove sorter. I'm using that. Anyway, I'll paste buildings with the incorrect recipes anyway. So as you can see, playing this game was not exactly easy because of all the controls and difference from the Factorio. It caused some troubles. Okay, let's make some magnets and then continue. So in the meantime I created few wind turbines, so let's place them in hope for the power grid to actually work and not only survive barely. So yeah, now we have raw iron, we have magnets, we have copper plates. So let's complete further research. Also, I moved my inventory a little bit down for you and me to see how high is the threat from the dark fog on this planet. So definitely worth noticing that the threat on the planet is already rising. So I'll need to prepare some defenses as soon as possible. So I want to, because you see, in the research tree there is a possibility to actually unlock defenses, and I would like that, but this requires electromagnetic data matrices, so blue cubes, as you can see here. So I need my data labs to actually create those matrices so I can build myself some defenses and equip my mech with some ammunition. Right now my mech can use its laser, but it will eat my mech's energy, and it's pretty limited right now up until I'll start doing something with coal. But if I'm on wood and leaves only, like right now, unluckily I'm very limited. So I'm checking the recipes. So this needs iron and copper, and data cubes needs electronics and magnets, and magnets it's electromagnets, sorry. So electromagnet is magnet plus some copper. So basically what I need to do is build few factories of electromagnets and few factories of electronics, and then I can actually start producing data cubes and using them for research. So my first research from the data cubes will be defenses, and I'll be crafting some ammo because I want to use rather physical ammo than my laser, only because I'm limited with power right now. Later on, once the power is abundant, I may be able to use my laser without worry for the ammo for the mech. But for now, I'm forced to use physical ammo to preserve energy.
You can upload as many matrices
So
to the center.
let's prepare the
Ground
factories
simulation.
for
Unlock
electronic
more
circuits
technology
and
in the real world.
electromagnets.
Replication complete.
So again, I'm building without planning ahead. So you will see issue with this planning. As right now I built a conveyor belt for the magnets. And what I need in the electromagnets factory is magnets and copper. So I will bring copper over from the copper furnaces, so from here. And I'll just go right like that, and like here and here. Okay, not enough. So let's craft more. They were crafting in the background. That's why they added to my inventory. Don't worry about it. I'm not spawning anything. So, you may not see the problem yet, and I was unaware of the problem then, because the conveyor belts can
Replication
be,
complete.
they're
Now you
like
can click the planet thumbnail button at the
height
bottom left
can
corner
be
of the
increased
screen,
and
or
decreased,
press
so
F
they can
to enter.
come one over other easily, and so on and so on. Unluckily, you see, increasing the height of the conveyor belt requires some space because there needs to be a ramp that will actually increase the altitude of the belt. But I haven't left any space for that. So in a moment I'll show you how to deal with that. So I created the problem and then I'm forced to actually solve my own problem. So yeah,
Insufficient materials.
plan ahead. Plan ahead. You see, I'm crafting a lot of basic buildings, so like I'm crafting conveyor belts, I'm crafting sorters, just because I need to. I could be crafting them in minimal, but well, I'm not ready for that yet. So that's definitely one issue. So let's bring the copper over to the electronic circuits, like this. And now I need to bring over the iron. So first we have issue with the power pole. So let's... okay, I need to craft more conveyor belts again. So let's bring the iron up until here. Okay. And now I need to do the ramp. So too short, it's the correct ramp. So let's do the ramp. Then let's go here. And no, I don't want to connect to the conveyor. I could go around there, but I want to go around here. And we need another ramp to go down.
Replication complete.
And as you can see, it works. It's not beautiful, but it works. So yeah, that's how I brought the iron here. And I need two power poles here just to power all the buildings. I need another one here. And of course I will need to expand my power grid because I'm increasing production and my wind turbines will be not enough for me in a short time. So that's something worth remembering. Let's. Oh, by the way, the basic sorters can extend like 3 tiles. Each tile they have of the additional length, not above 3, up until 3. It's decreasing actual traversal speed, so the capacity of the sorter to brought over items. So it's best to have short sorters. That's how it works. So I again didn't notice that the mine is not working. So that's a problem, and it's just because I forgot to place the power pole in the correct position. I haven't took into account the power field, so look out for all those little pieces of information that game gives you, as it's easy to miss them. So I have 3 data matrix centers, but I need 4, just because I want 1-to-1 ratio right now, at least in the beginning. Later on I will need to have some more. But for now, 1-for-1 is just fine. So I need to grab some electronic circuits, and just like that, with only a few pieces of glass, I can create more labs.
Replication complete.
So yeah, I'm planning how to actually move all the resources into the matrix centers and out of the matrix centers. Of course, I could use basic concept of 2 inputs in the middle, 1 output on each side, and then like connect the conveyors and create single output. That's possible, but I decided to just feed directly from one machine to another. But let's start the mine by moving my power pole around. I need some iron, and let's build our labs. So I'm starting from building the belts, as I will need them to actually place my labs in the correct position. I'm trying not to overbuild my belts, as each piece of belt right now is valuable. So here I'm making a mistake of creating belt in the other direction. Let's not do that. I will need full extent, so up until here.
Replication complete.
And it's just because we need to skip over with the long sorters. That's why we will use all 3 pieces. Because each side of the laboratory can, these squares, white squares here, they are showing that each side of the laboratory can hold up to 3 sorters. Bigger buildings can have multiple more inputs, outputs, so don't worry, they're there. So yeah. how to handle actually the bolts. It's so I'm placing short against each other and long one next to each other, and that's how I handle the supply. Let's place the power pole here, and let's make sorters directly from one building to another. Let's set up 2 labs to actually be labs, not producers of data matrices. And let's start our science production by actually supplying the labs with the necessary ingredients. And let's start researching. So let's first let's create some power. We need more power. But then we can start researching defenses and prepare for dark fog encounter. Just in the meantime, I'm collecting some stones, as I will need them for creating more furnaces, and I'm not really yet deep into like mining and processing stone yet. Research tree is massive, as you've seen, and contains a lot of technologies to research. But for now, let's extend my power grid by creating another wind turbines. So the color yellow of the field actually shows that there's not enough power in the grid. The blue color shows there is enough power in the grid. But anyway, I built more turbines than I need, so let's expand the power grid further. By the way, wind turbines also supply power, so you don't have to build power poles between wind turbines, as they are working as a power conductor. So that's good.
Research complete.
And we have weapon systems, so let's craft some ammo.
You've unlocked the weapon system. Icarus can now use ammo. Press C to open the mecha panel. Load the magazine and activate it. Use ammo to protect both yourself and the base when dark fog strikes. If you need help, press G to open the guidebook for detailed instructions. In the planet view, you can hold the middle mouse button to rotate the camera. Hold the right mouse button to roll the camera. Press N to align the camera to the North Pole. In the planet view, scrolling the mouse wheel also enters the star map.
So I need to queue some more technologies. I want my splitters, that's why I need logistics. I want some fluid tanks, some power poles, engines, and so on and so on. So let's enqueue research and continue building everything.
Dark fog clusters launching an assault.
So yeah, the dark fog is attacking, so let's come and greet them. I set my weapons to auto, so my Icarus, the mech, should shoot automatically. So let's approach and fight the enemies as they are approaching. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure where enemy is, so I'm afraid that I miss it. Well, I killed two of them, but still there's one remaining, so I'm just going back to the base as it's probably most common place they will be found, as they probably approach my base from different directions. So let's get back to the base and let's hope that they're not there yet. Well, they are here. Oh, there's the enemy. Luckily, it seems they're not very powerful yet. So, yeah. I'm glad we're here, so we can repair my wind turbine.
Laser weapon module.
And actually,
Mecha's core energy for charge.
we defeated the first wave, so that's good. Good.
And the rate of fire of laser.
But for the future encounters, I would want some turrets, so let's create some turrets manually and let's create some ammo production for them to actually be able to defend my base when I'm away or building something. So the ammo is produced straight from copper plates. So I think 2 assemblers will be enough to actually craft ammo for us. And then I'll place some turrets around. So I need to remove the belt. I want my splitter hill.
A splitter. It can split the cargo passing through
So
or manage
let's
the cargo
create
on multiple
output,
conveyor belts.
let's create
The
input,
splitting speed depends on the conveyor belt
and
speed.
we
Press
have the
tab
splitter.
to switch between
By the way,
different
it's very fun
set
that
priorities
in
and
this game
controls.
you don't have to separately use splitter and mergers, as depending on which direction
If there isn't
your
enough
belt
space,
is running,
make more efficient
it
use of
creates
resources by
either
stacking
input
it
or
on
output for the belts.
storage tanks and
So
splitters.
you can, using only single splitter, you can easily create both mergers and splitters without worry about whether you will have enough inputs, outputs, because you can convert almost any side to input or output depending on your needs. I think the
Research complete.
most surprising use is to actually create 2 inputs and 2 outputs and use the splitter as belt balancer, because it will take input from both belts and distribute it to both outputting belts. So it will balance your belts. Something you may consider important, especially if you're like optimizing your belts.
Replication complete.
So I am creating cargo for the ammo. I want to have some additional storage for the ammo as it may be required. And so let's start production. I made a small mistake here as I haven't limited the storage container. So it will grab a lot of ammo that it doesn't need actually. But let's place some turrets. Again, turrets require power besides ammo. So let's actually place them where there is power.
You've built a Gauss turret. This is a defense facility. It consumes ammo and energy to strike enemies within its range. You can either directly build Gauss turrets on conveyor belts that are built on the ground, or use conveyor belts to string Gauss turrets together.
Turret is short of ammo. Most turrets need ammo to fire. Click on a turret to open its panel and replenish ammo manually. Of course, it'd be better to constantly supply ammo with conveyor belts.
As I was not listening to the AI when I was playing, I was unaware that you can just route the ammo through the turret. So I'll be trying to place sorters to feed the ammo into the turret. So that's my mistake. That's my mistake.
Replication complete.
As you can see, I have very strong troubles figuring out how to feed the turret from the conveyor belt. But I noticed that I need to limit the amount of ammo the container can hold. But anyway, I'm still fighting with the turret interface and how to actually feed it with conveyor belt, because up until now I managed to feed it from my inventory, but not exactly from the conveyor, so that's that.
After accumulating, turrets will enter burst mode and fire extremely quickly for several seconds. Note, supernova costs a massive amount of power. It can't be used if power supply is too low.
So yeah, finally I figured out that you can basically route the belt through the turret. That took way too much time. That took so much time. But I'm still trying to place the sorter. Oh my god. I'm still trying with sorter, even though I've seen that I can place the conveyor belt in the turret. So let's maybe try that again. But first let's collect some resources, as my energy output is very limited.
Research complete.
And at last, I'm building conveyor belts to actually supply my turrets with some ammo. Oh my god, it took way too much time. That's how it is when you don't listen to the guidance, especially that I haven't played with Dark Fog yet, so that's my first experience. And as you can see, it was troublesome. Oh my gosh.
Replication complete.
So while I was crafting conveyor belts, I selected few technologies to be researched in the meantime, and let's continue building the belt. Well, planning the belt, because little flying robots are laying the belts I planned, but they require some time. So again, I need to increase the belt level, so let's create a ramp. Jump over and create second ramp just to get back down, and let's connect the end to the beginning so we have full enclosed circle, so the ammo will be running around on the belt. And now I just need to complete the belt, and that will be, I think, all for today, as the video is coming to an hour long and I don't want to bore you too much. So let's finish up the belt, and that will be all for today.
Research complete.
So the belt is almost complete. And now I only need to fill it with ammo. So I think I limit the container. And let's just grab all the ammo that is in the container and let's place it on the belt.
Research complete.
I tried to force the machine to actually place it, but let's just select the belt and do it ourselves. And once that's done, it will be all for today. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a comment, like, subscribe. I publish something else each Saturday and Sailwind each Wednesday, so maybe that will interest you. And for this video, I wanted to thank you for your attention and for surviving me this long. And I wanted to say see you in the next episode. Bye!